It's a snowy gray day outside, and loving that it makes me feel cozy and warm. In this new home, we're making a lot of changes, but I'm coming at you real. That's the whole reason behind this brand name change from Prodigal Pieces to Living Real with Larissa. Just a different way I'm having a take on life and wanting to just have a discussion with you today. So I invite you to join in. What I want to talk to you about today is intentional celebrating. That's at least the title I chose for this post because I have to do certain things to impress the online gods that get to choose what people get to see. And I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, kind of written about it in different ways over the last few years. But I want to take you back to a few things. If you're new here, keep in mind I'm going to be talking my story. I'm not judging anybody with how they celebrate, what they like to do. My goal is to get you to think, okay? Whatever you want to do, a Christmas tree or whatever you want to call it all year long, or you have a different faith altogether, that's great. Do you. But I wanted to share my story because I feel like maybe some of you can relate and might help you. I don't know, and give some discussion thought ideas. I grew up in a household that, well, if you knew my past, I'm now no contact with a lot of my family. So that's huge because Christmas grew up in a 6,000 square foot log home where somebody in my family liked to control everything. And in order for that to happen, all the family came to our house. And I'm talking aunts, uncles. We had a big enough house that we could house everybody. And it was a big grand to do. And I used to feel guilty for some of the family that would come because I felt like they were giving up their Christmas to do our expected Christmas. And then fast forward, I became a Christian at the age of 18. I celebrated Christ's birth, but I also did the regular other traditional things, the Santa, whatever. And when I grew up and became a Christian, I decided in my home, I didn't want to do, I'm going to put this bluntly because this is how I see it, okay? Lies. I didn't want to tell my children there is a Santa, Easter Bunny, so on and so forth. And so I chose to do things differently. And that rocked a few boats for people, ruffled feathers. And I was like, oh, well, this is my family, right? And I set up different traditions within my home. And there was this person that was constantly my parent who wanted things to be their way, all the time. And I wanted things to be super simple for my children. I didn't want it to be glitz, glamour, have to have all the things. I used to still say to them, your birthday to me is where you get to pick and celebrate what you want for your gifts and so on. But in the meantime, we're focusing on Christ, right? Christ's birth. And then more kids came along and I got into this, I want to say, a phase of just, I wanted to make things created for them, right? I love to create, I love to build, sew. And I found this one year that really hit me hard. I shared it in my blog post ages ago, how I built this snack stand for my kids with cardboard thrifted sheets. And this was also during a time where, get emotional. I was on a bed rest because I was pregnant with my daughter and needed to do something. I was very frustrated, needed to just create. And during those times, there's a lot of factors in there that caused me to rethink my intentional celebrating. But I remember the one time that I was down creating this stand and my kids, I was down saying in my basement, hidden so the kids couldn't see what I was doing. And then, in other years we made doll houses and so on. And they were standing at the stairs just like, Mama, come here, Mama. And I wasn't so absorbed that I didn't stop to get to them, but I kept feeling like, why am I doing this? My kids don't need these things. And so over the years, another example would be, I had an online store. Have since closed that down, but I was on Etsy first and then on my own site. We're talking for 12, 13 years. And one year when I decided, everybody's shoving it down your throat, right? You need to sell. You need to use Christmas to make a profit. And again, I don't judge anybody who's doing something to where they need to earn for their family. But I felt pricked in my conscience that here I am using the birth of Christ to make money. And that didn't sit well with me. And I make no apologies. That's for me what it hit for me. And I did 1 year where I made things and crafted specifically to make a profit. And that's it. I didn't like that. I felt like I didn't enjoy the season. I felt like I was running this gauntlet of just hoops and hurdles of things that I'm expected to do. And I didn't want to do that anymore. So then came, blogging content. I needed to create content that's related to Christmas. And we're talking Christ's birth for me, right? And I just thought, I'm not into this in my own home, so why would I be creating content that encourages people to do the same thing, right? But I got to make page views, or I got to make an income. This is my livelihood from my family. So I stopped a few years ago creating that kind of content as well. And I got to tell you that in this last couple years, so 3 years or so ago, no contact, and I'm not really attending gatherings and really trying to figure out myself and healing from narcissist abuse, going through abuse within my marriage and different forms. I have all discussions about that, so I'm not pinning this on anybody. But I made choices, and I'm making a new choice to be intentional. I've moved into this new home. I am not doing anything here that I don't really want. And what I mean by that is if it doesn't bring me peace and bring stability within my family, if I'm doing this for the wrong reasons, I don't want any part of it. And I will say that it has caused a little bit of, not negative waves, but there are certain kids of mine that just adore Christmas. I literally created that with them, right? So I see what happened, and they're adults. They can do their own thing, and I don't judge them. They can, whatever. But I do kind of have guilt that I created that in them because I would build up Christmas to be this thing. And then how do you get the balance of Christ, and where is it in there? So right now we have a great balance. We have compromise, at least as far as I'm concerned. I think they would say the same. I can't speak for them. But we pick and choose what we want to do. Where do we want our focus to be? Does that mean we ignore completely the other holiday things? No, not at all. If some want to do something, go ahead. I will say I would be the sort of Debbie Downer of sorts because to me, it's about Christ's birth. And whether you call it Christmas or anything, it's, to me, this is how I want to live. Okay. So my intentions is where my focus is, where's my heart, where's my energy being poured into, and what do I want out of it? And I will say that I felt like I was completely in the wrong mode for so long because I wasn't doing what I really wanted to do. I was worried about tradition. I was worried about expectations and impressions I was making on people. Did my house look a certain way? Did I do the greatest things? Was I giving the greatest gifts, handmade from the heart? And I got tired of it. Now I just want to spend time with people, whether it's for Christmas, whatever, but if it means I get together with my family, wonderful. But after seeing what God has done for me in the last few years, bringing me out of the wilderness, I'm even more on fire. I'm even more on fire to just say, where do I want to be? What do I want to present? What's my point? So living real with you, showing you what's going on behind the scenes, trying to just be myself as much as I can, be heal. I have to reparent myself. I have to learn just where do I want to be and have only the people with me that are important. I mean, there are important people to me that I'm not maybe necessarily in contact with as much. There's a long story behind that, but I do want to just be here to invite you to this conversation. Is there things that you do that you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, but everybody expects it? Or if I don't do this, neighbor Smith is going to look better than me, but I'm so tired, or I'm sick of working to the bones. I have money to do this. Or, there's all so many things. I know you're going to have family traditions that maybe you don't want to give up, or maybe it's just going to be hard, but find what works for you. There is no need to drive yourself into the grounds where you look forward to Christmas being over. And it could be Christmas, it could be any holiday, it could be any time, but we know it's really, pushed right now with the gifts, and you got to attend all the events and do all the things. And hey there, you married single moms, I know what that's like. You got to not only think of everything under the sun to host, to buy gifts, and so on, If you don't even want to just give all that up, delegate, or say, here's my line. I'm setting this for myself. That's it. You can do it. It's not going to be fun necessarily. You're going to ruffle feathers. But that's okay. It will be fine, and it will move on. But you be you. You do what works for you, and I just want to encourage you, leave some comment love down below. Don't forget to sign up for my free email newsletter. I know that sounds hokey businessy, but really, that's the way I can get in touch with you personally. And I don't send you anything. I don't share your information with anybody. I just invite you to join this family. Ask me some questions. I'll feedback in comments or in a future post, whatever you would like to hear, but just wanting to be real. Until next time.